How's it going, fellow Detroit Red Wings fans? Today, we are here to talk about 3 different prospects. Pascal Zito, a 6th round draft pick from the 2021 NHL Draft. Alex Cotton, a 5th round selection from the 2020 NHL Draft. And last but certainly not least, Hanas, a 2nd round selection from that same entry level draft with Alex Cotton. All 3 of these guys are in the CHL, playing between Canada and the United States, and needless to say, they are trying to push for an entry-level contract with the Detroit Red Wings. Now, before we get too deep into today's video, I want to give a shout out to Jason Pietrez. We hit the 1,000 subscriber mark about 2 months ago, and wanted to start thanking you guys for making the Red Wing Nation community a community. So, if you want to get a shout out, make sure you subscribe and join this wonderful channel. Obviously, the most surprising prospect out of these 3 has to be Pascal Zito. A 6th round selection selected just a mere handful of months ago is hanging around a point per game with the Windsor Spitfires in the OHL. Now you may be wondering how a 6th round selection is hanging around a point per game pace literally the season after being drafted, and well, one answer could be that Yzerman is a drafting god. And while that may be true, you also have to realize that the OHL didn't play a single game last year. So, naturally, OHL players weren't ranked as high because they couldn't see them play. A few, like McTavish, went overseas to find some ice time, but for the most part, OHL players were kinda screwed. So, obviously, this left the door open for good players like Pascal Zito to be drafted late in the draft. Zito also played in the prospect tournament with the Red Wings along with Hanas and Alex Cotton, and actually had a pretty good showing. If you want to see highlights from the 3 games the Red Wings played, we made a video you can check out. Anyways, Zito had a good showing and currently has 6 goals, 6 assists for 12 points in 15 games played, which is good enough for 7th on the team in points. If Zito keeps up with his pace, it's a possibility we see him sign his entry-level contract. But unless he utterly dominates his opponents, he will likely be suiting up for the Spitfires again next season. So, on to the other forward in this group of 3, Hanas. Hanas was selected in the 2nd round of the 2020 NHL Draft, along with William Wallander and Theodor Niederbach. We will have a video coming soon about Wallander and what he's doing with Rogla in the SHL, but this is about Hanas, and how he is currently pacing at around a point per game or above. The 6'1", 172-pound winger, who is known for his rough play, the season after being drafted, he split time between the USHL and the WHL. Combining his stat chart, he recorded 5 goals, 15 assists for 20 points in 35 games played, totaling 99 penalty minutes, all in 27 games with the Lincoln Stars in the USHL, which is something to worry about, but can be ironed out of his game. After all, he is only 19 years old, and so far this season, he has 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points and 18 games played. Good enough for 1st on his team in scoring, while only recording 20 penalty minutes. So at around half as many games as he played with the Lincoln Stars last season, Hanas only has 1/5 as many penalty minutes. Also, he has impressive passing abilities and may need to be a little bit more refined, but he will be able to play in the AHL for a couple seasons where he can develop his offensive abilities to hopefully be a real threat in the NHL. My guess is that if Hanas can continue to be around a point per game or better, he will earn his entry-level contract and either join the Grand Rapids Griffins after his junior season wraps up for some regular season games and hopefully a playoff run, or join Grand Rapids for the start of next season. Regardless, I would keep an eye on Hanas. He may start to turn heads faster than you may think. And then lastly, the lone defenseman in this trio, Alex Cotton. The 6'2", 190-pound defenseman Cotton is somewhat surprising, because even in his draft year, he was over a point per game with 67 points and 63 games played. Good enough for 3rd on the team in points, on a team that included 2019 top 10 selection Dylan Cousins. Yet somehow, the Detroit Red Wings nabbed Cotton in the 5th round of the NHL entry draft. It's not like he was playing horrific defense either. He recorded a +15 that season. It's a possibility that scouts thought his numbers would drop off after being drafted, but no. Following being drafted, he recorded 3 points in 2 games played with the Canmore Eagles in the AGHL. Then returning to the WHL, he went out and recorded 26 points in 24 games played. So far this season with 2 different teams, because Cotton was traded to the Vancouver Giants, he has recorded more goals than assists. Sure, the sample size is small. Right now he has a total of 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points in 12 WHL games played. Obviously, it appears the Giants are preparing to go on a run in the CHL playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cotton sign an entry-level contract with the Detroit Red Wings. The Grand Rapids Griffins do obviously have a bit of a backup on defense, but his junior eligibility will be up. So Grand Rapids would be the best opportunity for him to play against quality opponents and further develop his skills. Honestly, we could very well see him develop into a Nick Jensen type of defenseman. Let us know down below, what do you guys think of Alex Cotton, Pascal Zito, Cross Hanas? Are they going to be regular Red Wings one day? We want to hear all your thoughts. Red Wing Nation was designed to be a community of Red Wings fans that can come together and talk about all things Red Wings. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like. That way we make more content that you like. And lastly, if you are a Red Wings fan, if you are a hockey fan, if you are just a good person, make sure you subscribe and join this wonderful channel. And until next time, lights on the red light district.